Hi, Beryl.
Hey,
How you doing?
I'm doing just fine. I'm tell you what I found out.
Tell me what you found out.
I found out that we have filtered water
Yes.
in the library. I didn't know that.
Yes.
You know, when I bring my cup, I'm always bringing bottled water or going down and buying water.
Yes.
And I found out from Paul that they have expensive water filters on the water fountains.
And they just replaced them. So they're brand new.
They're brand
on every
new.
floor where you can put your bottle in there and it'll fill up your.
I know. I'm
There's
not
a way
gonna. I'm
to-
telling you, I bring my little what you call it? What you call the cups? Stanley
You have
cup.
a Stanley cup?
Yeah, I bring
Right.
my Stanley cup now and fill it up with water.
Right.
I'm good to
yeah.
go.
Okay. So for those who don't know, please make use of our filtered water.
Our
Water
filtered
fountains in the
water
library.
in the library. It's between the bathrooms. I thought it was bathroom water, but it's not.
No, that's always a
It's
question.
filtered
but-
water. Okay.
You got my questions and you don't want to guess. I got a recommendations and that I can suggest. Yes, this library questions are a part of the quest. Here's Beryl and Laura with instruction request.
Hey, Ospreys. My name is Lauren Odom, and I am the instruction librarian.
And I'm Beryl White-Bing. I am the virtual learning librarian.
And we are Instruction Request, where we talk about common research questions, helpful resources,
and immersive technology in the Virtual Learning Center at the Thomas G Carpenter Library.
All right.
All right, Lauren.
Okay, so today we're talking about languages and linguistics.
Language and linguistic VR.
And library resources and a few things that are going to be helpful in the realm of languages, culture, linguistics. To start off, we're going to talk about the research question of the day. So the research question is not related to languages and linguistics, but it is something that I have been seeing come through the library chat or through our ticketing system quite a bit. And it's about reserving books in the library. So people are asking, how can I reserve a book in the library? How can I place a book on hold? And so the process for books in our library is a little bit different than you would find maybe in a public library or even at some other institutions. We don't have a reserve system. We issue books, or students, faculty, staff can borrow books based on a first come, first serve basis. So you would need to look within the catalog, find the resource that you're looking for, kind of jot down the address, the Library of Congress, call number on that book, and then you can take it to the Access Services desk located just within the front doors of the library to ask someone to help you locate that book, which would either be on the third or the fourth floor there. So there is no hold system unless there is an item that you would like that someone currently has checked out. At that point, that item could be placed on hold so that you'd be next in the queue to remind that person to return the book, to not, kind of go over that borrowing period. And that way you'd be next in line or third or fourth, depending on who else may be desiring that book. But that is the only system we have for holding. There is no reserving, there's no pulling of books and kind of holding them for people. So I just wanted to clarify that because I have seen that a number of times recently.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
That is a big difference.
Very big difference. Yeah.
I worked at a previous institution where you could check out the book, someone would pull it, and it would be held at the desk. But there's no system like that at least yet. There's no system. I think they did during COVID, but now I guess we don't have the manpower to do that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's definitely a different practice, but
Yeah.
it's better when people know and can kind of set their expectations around how they can actually get books, the physical books in the building.
Yeah. So you know what your expectation is. If you have a problem finding a book, if you see a book in the catalog and you have a problem finding the book, there's no problem with asking someone to show you where it is.
Right.
or how to find it, because sometimes it's a little difficult because currently our collection is split between the third and the fourth floor, but you never know. There's a lot of construction going on in the library, so, that may change. So
Right.
I know it can be confusing because we do have the curriculum collection next to the VLC, the
Right.
graphic novels next to the VLC, and then you have, I think, A through P on one floor and Q through Z on another floor.
Right.
That's Library of Congress classification. So if you have a problem, I'm on the third floor. I have some student workers at the desk on the third floor. They'll be happy to help you find whatever it is you need.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
So let's talk about what's happening in instruction.
What's happening in instruction? We're talking about databases, correct?
We are talking about databases, but the Library Research Prize is still inactive.
Oh, the Library Research Prize is still going on.
Mm-hmm.
Please make sure that if you completed a project last semester or you're working on a project that's going to be due in a few weeks, make sure once you get it all done, submit it for a research prize. You have to have a letter from your faculty, the person who is teaching you, certifying that you use library resources to do that, whether it's you booked a study room or you use the VLC or the recording studio, or you came to the library and used our resources like the databases or VR experience, or you use a piece of software that you found in the VLC. Please submit your project and you'll find the research prize. It's on the bulletin board. You can just scan that, or you can just Google Library Research Prize UNF, and the website will come up. The application is there. And if you submit your application, there's a good chance you might be considered. It's $1,000. I say that again. $1,000.
Right.
For a graduate student, and for $1,000 for an undergraduate student who can submit the best project that they used library resources. Now, there is a stipulation. You cannot be presenting with, say, a faculty member. It's not research that you've done with anyone who is a non-student, is what it says. So it has to be you, but it can be a group project. I know creative projects are good as well. If you wrote a play or a creative writing piece with a group, or you did some research with a group and submitted a joint project, those count as well. Of course, you have to share the money. But please, I'm asking you to please consider applying. It's not a scholarship, it's a prize. So please, please, please consider submitting for the research prize. Also in instruction, on the 27th, January 27th, we will be starting library open office hours, which is a time where you can drop in to the library. Drop into Zoom and talk to a librarian. So what I've been doing, Lauren, is in my classes, when I have like classroom instruction, I point them to the library calendar.
Yes.
After January 27th, not only librarian open office hours, but pop-up library instruction are all on the library's calendar. So if you need help and you don't have 24 hours, you don't want to wait 24 hours to get an answer, and you want to talk to one of us, there's six librarians who are having these open office hours. If you go into the library's calendar and say, click on January 27th. If you click on January 27th, you'll see Dr. Deborah Williams. She has the first session, which is from 11 to 1 on Mondays. On Tuesday, you have Dr. Sarah Malkless from 8 to 10, and then Lauren Newton is from 2 to 4. My hours are Wednesday from 11 to 1. And then Lauren's hours are from 3 to 5 on Wednesday. Danny Feinberg has his hours on Thursday from 8 a.m. until 10 a.m. So you can drop in during those hours. You can find our hours on the library calendar. Pop-up library instruction will be coming soon, the 2 weeks before midterms. Those are on the library's calendar as well, and we'll be in a study room on the second floor.
Mm-hmm.
So look for us, drop in, or you can always book a research consultation. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Are we ready for VR?
We are ready to talk about languages and
linguistics?
Yes.
Mango languages?
So I wanted to actually cover one of the LibGuides that we have.
Okay.
So Andy, this will be one of the slides that we have, the very first one. And we have a Languages, Literatures, and Cultures library guide that features some of the physical books, some dictionaries on different languages and cultures throughout the tabs of the guide. And it also highlights a few of the databases we have available on languages and linguistics. And you see Mango Languages is there, which is the database of the day that I wanted to highlight. So in the next slide, this is the interface of Mango Languages. You can access Mango Languages by clicking on the database list link on the main library webpage. If you go to the Languages and Linguistics drop-down menu under Subjects, this will take you to a list of all of the databases that we have on Languages and Linguistics. And then Mango Languages is there. And through here, it's very similar to like a Duolingo, where you can pick a language to study and it'll walk you through modules and quizzes so that you can develop a new language. And in the next slide, this is just kind of a brief overview of some of the languages available. This is not all of them, but you can learn over 70 languages through the Mango Languages database. And this is free of use to you as a student or faculty or staff member at UNF. So please make
I see
use of
Ebo on that list.
Ebo?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Ebo is
There
on
are a
that
lot of
list.
really cool ones. Cherokee is there.
Yeah, Igbo is a culture in Nigeria.
Nigeria, yes.
Yeah.
So there are some really cool languages that you can learn through there.
That's amazing.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
All right, so what's happening in VR?
In the VLC, we also have a language VR app.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Language Lab. So, Andy, if you would put up that slide so that they can see. Language Lab is the name of this VR application. They call themselves the CrossFit of language learning apps. It doesn't have quite as many languages as Mango, but there are 20 languages covered in this VR application. Let's look at a 1-minute video about Language Lab.
Pongo la cuchara en la taza. Pon la cuchara en la taza. Taza. Cuchara. Pon el tenedor en la taza. Tenedor. Taza.
Я включаю душ. Душ. Forno. Panela. Ovo. Frigideira.
打开风扇。关掉风扇。关灯。
Estante. Abajur. Relógio. Car. House. Tree. Truck. Telephone pole. Mailbox. Vaso jardineira. Hidrante. Go.
semáforo, estacionamento.
Okay,
Well,
that
that looks
is
really
Language
interesting.
Lab.
Wow.
It's very fun. I did the Hebrew one, and I
Nice.
also did the Spanish one. And you learn by doing. It's not
Yes.
like this is the tense for this,
Right.
past tense, present tense. It helps you learning words, and you're like serving food, and you're sitting
Yeah.
at a table. So it's more practical application of language,
Yeah.
and you're in VR doing it, and it's fun.
That's great for your
Now there is a subscription past the. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry, Lauren, I didn't mean to cut you off. It there is a subscription past the actual VR, but you don't have to do that. So you can do the Language Lab application without the subscription. I'm sorry, what were you about to say? Forgive me, Lauren.
It's okay.
Okay. All right. So now it's time for our Library VR champion.
And who is our VR champion this
Our VR champion is Martha Garcia. She's an adjunct instructor who approached me about starting or continuing a program that she does at another institution that she teaches to. And she likes to bring her students into the VR lab and have them explore Colombia, Venezuela, Spain, and other countries that are Spanish speaking. And it's a wonderful thing. She brings in food. We have a really good time when she brings her students in, and they're normally beginning Spanish speakers. So she approached me a couple of years ago, and every semester she brings her beginning Spanish students in. So here is Martha Garcia. I'm here with Martha Garcia, a Spanish instructor with the World Language Department. And I would like to ask her, Martha, tell me what VR does for your classes.
The reason why I do this?
Yes.
Well, I think for me it's very important, Beryl, that my students are engaged with my culture, and special with Colombia, because I am from Colombia, South America. So this is an amazing activity experience that they have in every single session that when they come here to do VR experience. So it's good to have them here to know more about the culture, and on special that they can travel through this kind of experience. It's a virtual reality.
I know that they go to Colombia, but they also go to Spain.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So they get to see all over the world.
Correct.
Spanish-speaking countries.
Correct.
And
yes.
how they are different and how they're the same.
Exactly. So the same language, the same culture, but of course we have different aspects in every single place that they go. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you bringing your classes, and I thank you for being a Library VR champion.
Oh, thank you, Beryl.
And I appreciate you bringing every semester you bring your class.
Oh yes, and it's interesting because this semester, as you know, I am teaching a honors class, and I call Cafecito para Honores. And the good thing that they did was that they chose their own places around the world, and all of them, they had the opportunity to see and travel to each different places that their classmates wrote. So it's fun.
And that class was great because they all were Spanish speaking originally.
Oh, yes.
And all from different places.
Exactly.
So they were able to explore all the different countries.
Yes, and remember that day we had here Dr. Angeles Fernandez, and it was amazing how she brought all her own projects to them, because I didn't know that.
Yes, she's another Library VR champion.
Oh yeah, she is. She's amazing.
She is. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yeah, so that's Martha. She's very sweet, and she comes every semester. So you too, other Spanish instructors and language instructors, you can either bring them to the VLC, or if you have an assignment where you create, say, a place you want them to go and compare. They can compare and contrast countries, see similarities. Any type of assignment like that. With Martha, we normally use Google Earth, and we also use other applications. The Meta platform has some good documentaries that we can watch from other countries. So feel free to send your students to the VLC and complete a VLC instruction request.
All right. So what are we talking about next episode?
Our next episode will be on our news databases. We have subscriptions that faculty, staff, and students can sign up for the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, the Jacksonville Business Journal. And I'm going to go over MetaQuest TV, YouTube VR, and Viveport Video.
All right. All right. So thank you for joining us for another episode of Instruction Request. Remember that you can always schedule a research consultation, and you can always schedule
an instruction request.